Inclina Domine, adem tuum amen, et exaudime, salvum fagus servum tuum, Deus meus asperantem in te, miserere mihi Domine, quoniam a te clamavi tota die. Letifica animam servitui, quoniam a te Domine animam meam levavi. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Inclina Domine, adem tuam amen, et exaudime, salvum fagus servum tuum, Deus meus sperantem in te, miserere mihi Domine, quoniam a te clamavi tota die. Bonum est confiteri Domino, et psalere nomini tuo, altissime, ad annunciandum mane, misericordiam tuam, in veritatem tuam, per Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. Your word is truth, O Lord, consecrate us in the truth. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. When a man swears by heaven, he is swearing by the throne of God and by the one who is seated there. One might be asked, if one was accused of being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to back up the case? One observes how many Christians do not differentiate themselves enormously from those who have no faith or practice with regard to the issue of swearing. Why should that be? Some Christians take it very seriously, precisely because of this verse and similar ones coming from the Lord himself. Others think that it's because it's only using the tongue, making a noise. It is not really a sin. And they have a casuistic way of getting round it by saying, I don't really mean it. Well, maybe the Lord means what he says here. And the implication is grave, that indeed our words are being listened to from on high, let alone the effect that has on other people. If a child hears a parent, a teacher, a role model, a priest using bad language, then of course it's the green card. He can use also the same thing. And when we expose children or even ourselves to the likes of the culture projected by soap operas, then we of course allow ourselves to accept a norm which is not at all that of sacred scripture. Just having something vulgar on lowers ourselves also to that vulgar level. We accept that norm and we are happy to be in it. We cannot have in our home vulgarity projected at us and get away with it before the angels that surround us. Our guardian angel hears it all and he is upset. With regard to the way in which the Lord is clear in calling the Pharisees blind guides and indeed fools, might actually be addressed to us, because we are also experts in casuistry. We justify things and therefore miss the essence. And the Lord is using strong Semitic language here. It's also even stronger in the original which he would have used. It comes to us in these layers of paraphrased English, which is still strong, but the actual wording that he would have been using would have been something like this. You make him twice as much a son of Gehenna. Here he uses, in translation that we have here, make him twice as fit for hell as you are. A son of Gehenna is someone who belongs there. And if we are easily using language which is heard with great pleasure by the ministers of Gehenna, then we are in some way participating in the ministers of Gehenna's game. We are excluding God from center stage. He is something for church only. It does not really matter how we speak in public. It does, big time. This question of not even confessing this regular abuse of language is rather sad. It means that one has become hardened to it. A child, when he starts to use it, is quite actually aware. Often sin starts there, in that realm. Let us look at it to see what's going on. If it's using vulgarity, that is, bringing what is sacred in certain spheres especially to the realm of bestiality, as happens massively in the pub culture around, then it is just unpleasant, and it is bringing down to the mud what is actually glorious and in some way linked with the work of the Blessed Trinity. If it is directly invoking holy things, God, the Holy Name, our Blessed Lady, the saints, the sacred, then it is another notch of involving God and using him as a punctuation mark or a means of making a point by underlining it with a strong word. Are there no other words that can be used? And often it is more strong to have a certain wit than actually to go to the maximum of bad words. Understating is actually far more powerful, with a twinkle in one's eye, than to go straight to the maximum and bring God down and ourselves with it. And then there is this compartmentalization of things, that we can open our mouths to receive the Lord of hosts and make of our tongue a throne for the Lord of hosts, and then use that same tongue a few minutes later to insult that Lord of hosts and not to have given him his right. That throne has been withdrawn from him. He no longer reigns over it. It's just a muscle like any other that we can twitch and twiddle with any way that we want to without realizing that God is involved with the sounds that we make. The sound that we make can win us heaven, hell, or purgatory, and also bring us closer to God or further away from him. They can also fill the air with empty noise. Empty vessels make much noise, and we have a lot of examples of that in our daily life, that if we're not careful, we're making conversation. Conversation is important. The Lord, in all his existence, never wasted a word. We can be sure that at Cana of Galilee he had holy joy. We can have the same. Words can be made to be healing by being joyful. Holy wit is clever and gives joy and lightness. Talking and talking is heavy and makes us boring, and we can't even hear ourselves or the pain we're causing. And it's one of the most common faults, even among pious souls, people who can't stop talking. Scripture says, from multiplicity of words, sin is not absent. It also has in the prophet Sophoniah the word that the Lord will give to the peoples a pure speech. Now in Hebrew it is very concrete, a clean lip, a pure lip. We translate it as speech, but it's chapter 3 verse 9, and then it goes on, that they may invoke my name. Now that's saying it all. The lips that invoke the name of the Lord to receive merit by praising the Lord as he wishes and being pleasing to him must also be pure. The Lord wants that bit done first before we address him with those same abused instruments, the vocal cords. So that is a grace to be asked for, that swearing need not happen. And if it does, we need to ask ourselves why. We cannot have the demon enthroned in our home and swearing right in the hearth from our soap operas, and then, without blinking an eyelid, come before the tabernacle as though the Lord had not heard a thing. In saecula saeculorum. Amen. swearing. Fair mother, as I hear thy maiden heart in prayer beat on, and look on these thine eyes that look into the distance where thou art, where others are, where worlds beyond these skies that cloud our sight, look on and listen well. I can but lay my head on this thy breast, and love thee for a while, till mischief yell its fill of vomit grace from lips o'erblest. A tongue can bear the weight of angel hosts, and by a stroke itself an angel make, and in its airy wagging as it boasts, it can the weight of void at times mistake. For but a vibrant column moves a while, yet it bears rays that turn marred aeons vile.